All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Inside the Northside Podcast. I'm your host for the most from the Third Coast, and actually, I'm not in the North Side. I'm in the North.
Actually, right now we are.
Shut the fuck up. Who asked you? No, play. I'm sorry. I'm not abusive to this man. Anyways, we have Sentilion here on the podcast. We can give a round of applause to Sentilion. Yay!
And the crowd goes,
give me my money. Yay! Anyways, if you want to go counterclockwise, introduce yourselves.
All right. I'm the drummer for Sentilion. My name is Richard, or you can call me Ree. That's spelled R-I-E.
All right, cool.
Also vocals, back vocals, and sometimes lead vocals.
What's up? I'm Danny Tubbs. I play lead guitar, sometimes rhythm, a little bit of backing vocals. Most of the vocals are this guy right here, this dude, Luigi.
What's up, guys? My name is Luigi. I'm the rhythm guitarist and do lead vocals. And apparently all of us just do a little bit of everything. We're just Swiss Army men over here.
Daniel Radcliffe.
All right, good.
My name is Gabriel Gray Blue. I'm the bassist for Sentilion, and I do backup vocals as well.
God damn, who does all the vocals? Everyone does vocals.
Gabe is like our dedicated screamer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's...
He's got the
yeah,
screaming down.
For sure.
Got screaming the band.
Growls, really.
We're just actually
Growls.
one big orchestra, just disguised as a band.
This guy's the band.
Our next album is a cappella.
Oh, really? Damn.
It's
We're
going to
going
be
back
ska, like a ska band.
Oh, God. The ska music? Oh, my God. That's cringy. Dan, do you ever listen to ska? Y'all ever listen to ska music?
Dude, No Doubt is technically ska, and I was really into No Doubt back in the day, for sure.
Like early No Doubt or like later
More
on No Doubt, like when they got popular?
A little bit of the early ones, and then there's mainly their album Rocksteadies when I was just like...
I like their song Spiderwebs.
Yeah,
so that's a badass song.
Like, yeah. That's what she just said. No, she doesn't sing like that.
Or like, you ever listen to Bathwater, I think it's called?
I think I've heard that song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's...
You know what's weird about Gwen Stefani? She has like this whole fascination of like Japanese culture.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, she has like this whole. So I say this because I know, because my ex used to be like super about Gwen Stefani, and she was like, "We need to stop at Target," and I'm like, "Why do we need to stop at Target?" And she's like, "Gwen Stefani just released new perfume." Okay, and it's like this like Japanese like schoolgirl little bottle, and I'm like, okay. Whatever, Gwen Stefani. You want to be a Japanese girl? Cool. Whatever, bro.
Also has a white country.
Yeah, she's got like a white country husband. Not in my country.
Anything about her?
Oh, hey, what's his name again?
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton.
Which, I mean, he doesn't have that much bad music. I've heard it a little bit, but not my taste. I don't know. Anyways, we're going off topic. But anyways, how did you guys meet? I know Daniel and Gabe know each other, so we know that story a little bit. But how did the rest of you guys meet?
Well, I used to work with Great Blue over here doing insurance. You know,
okay.
in the riveting life of insurance sales, and I think when he showed up, we were all like in the office and like we're pulling our laptops, and Great Blue over here had Avenged Sevenfold laptop case. I'm pretty sure it was, right?
Okay.
It was a
side
bag.
Yeah. Anyway,
Lunchbox.
So I saw it and I was like, dude, oh, I love Avenged Sevenfold, and then we just started talking like that, and then we just worked together for a while, and then we had a very similar music taste and just hung out during work, after work, and then we would just play together in my living room, or I'd go over to his house. We'd just be chilling, doing covers or just messing around, and then eventually we were like, hey, what if let's try writing some things. But we just did stuff here and there on the side.
Okay.
And once Sentilion was reignited, after a while, Gabe asked me if I wanted to just jam with them for a little while, kind of see how things go, because you'll see when we all talk about it, we all have very distinct music tastes in different kinds of rock and stuff like that. So then he invited me to play, and then we've just been jamming out, and here we are.
Richard, how about you? Or Ree, how'd you meet the rest of these guys?
Well, Lewis, you left out that you two were in a band together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we were in a band.
They were
before.
in a band, Atonement, and then that broke up, and then Danny and Gray Blue, they had already done Sentilion in high school, and then they jokingly came back together and ended up coming out with the single.
That's a joke.
Did everything themselves,
We played
full
the
band
long game.
stuff. And I guess they just started to recruit after that, taking it more serious. They first invited Lewis to jam, and then I think maybe a week or so after that, Danny and I were talking, and I had just left Supervillain, which he was in that band, and I joined, and then he left a week later. So there was staggered stuff going on, and then I left that band. I was talking to Danny, and he ended up inviting me to jam as well. And then, yeah, we just started playing together, and almost maybe the second or third practice, we started trying to work on new ideas, and then maybe a month in is when they officially invited both of us to be a part of the band. Cool. So that's how I ended up finding my way through.
That's pretty cool. Hell yeah. I was going to say something. I totally forgot what the fuck I was going to say. Oh, wait. So your pictures. Yeah. So you recruited Caesar to take your band photo photos.
Yeah.
Where did y'all take y'all pictures at? That was pretty badass. I'm not going to lie.
No. It was actually in the hotel where I worked at.
Oh, okay.
Where I work at currently. Crown Plaza. Shout out Johnny's Italian Steakhouse. I talked to the hotel manager, and I was, we have a pretty good relationship with her, and I was just like, hey, do you mind if my bandmates and I just take a couple pictures because we have large banquet halls, and then she was just super cool about it. She's like, yeah, go ahead, and she's like, I get a percentage when you guys blow up, and just a little joke, and I was like, all right, cool. So then we went to the hotel and just did stuff in the banquet rooms, the hallways, the lobby area almost, and it came out pretty cool, I think.
That was a really cool banquet room that we were, the lighting in there was really cool. So we spent a lot of time in there, probably an hour in there. Yeah. And then the hallway pictures were really cool in the where all the rooms were upstairs. Those were the main pictures that came out really, really good.
Yeah, I saw them and I was like, damn, those are fucking badass.
Yeah, Caesar was
it makes
excited.
It looks really it's like you guys are serious,
Yeah, we were trying to stay away from the train tracks,
with the guitar on your back and all this.
The abandoned warehouse. So
the back's against the wall with the pillar and all that shit.
Yeah, so it was just what could we do that's completely, a little bit as easy to get. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's other hotel bands, pictures in hotels, but I don't know. It's just.
I haven't seen any.
Figured it'd be pretty cool.
So,
and because it was cool, because we were dressed, as if I guess we were going to a show or something, but surrounded, the aesthetic is very nice. It was it's a nice hotel, so it was pretty good contrast, which came out to have some really cool pictures.
Hell yeah.
Gabe's mask also
really
really sets a tone, I think.
It does, yeah. It's kind of it gives early 2000s vibe of one of the members just fucking around with something, and it kind of means something. Oh yeah,
you're supposed to be incognito, good sir.
I told this mofo, I was like, I swear to God, if you wear this fucking man,
Are you gonna perform in it?
Yeah.
Great look.
I think you should.
Just for one song.
All right, there we go. I'll just start sweating bullets in there. Huh?
I can't breathe in it.
Imagine just drop mid-song, just poof.
It'll probably
that's our show.
Probably for nicotine dream, because I don't sing in that one. So
there you go.
You should have the panda head and then put a little cigarette. You just be this is a motherfucker smoking while he has a mask. That's worse than because you can't breathe and now you just get suffocated by the smoke. Horrible. That's a way to die. But you were saying that you guys have different music tastes and stuff like that. So you were talking about Avenged Sevenfold. So are you more of the hardcore metal stuff like that, Or?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, Avenged Sevenfold was the hardest metal band out there now, but I would say so because me and Gabe, at least, we listened to because when we used to work together, we used to drive everywhere. It's like they're all Houston, so we got to blast some tunes. So it would be a little bit more like Bullet, Avenged Sevenfold, obviously, some Chevelle, and then Gabe would put me on to bands that I haven't really listened to, and then pretty sure like 99% of the songs that he suggests, I fuck with. What was that one? The band that's on your wrist?
Oh, Heaven's Blue.
Yeah, there you go. So that one's pretty cool, like stuff like that, and so that's, I guess, that's inspiration to some of the songs that we were trying to write, just more headbangy. He introduced me to math rock. Well, he told me what it was. It wasn't really his cup of tea, but then that's where, kind of the, just opening to do different genres of,
yeah,
rock
math
music.
rock is it's a pretty cool genre. But I think it's a genre that everybody wants to be a part of, but not everybody can be a part of that. I feel like, because like the band that I was in, they wanted me to play like this math rock shit, and I was like, dude, we're playing punk rock. What are we gonna? No, I don't want to do this, But like, they would tell me like, oh, you're not that good if you can't play it, and I'm like, okay, dog. Whatever, we're not playing this anyways. But anyways, like all this to say, like math rock is like a weird kind of like genre. It's cool, but I don't think everybody can do it.
Yeah, I still don't even really know what it exactly it is. Like, do you want to explain it?
It's like Midwestern emo.
Oh, is that what that is? I've seen
kind of,
memes.
sorta.
There's different branches of it. Like that's one branch. I think Gabe actually like got it from me, right? Like I was the one who showed you some of the math rock bands.
Chon and
Yeah,
shit
because
like
Chon
that.
is a different kind of thing. It's not like Midwest emo. It's more like jazz fusion type of thing. So there's bands like that, and like Rhea and I actually like a lot of similar bands. Like some are very like progressive rock and math rock.
Did you say Polythia is a math rock band?
I feel like they're more progressive, but they have math rock elements.
Okay.
I feel like they're more progressive because math rock, like I feel like math rock is more dissonant, which means like some of the notes. They sound like they're crazy together, you know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be in the same scale or whatever. And I feel like progressive kind of like follows a more traditional way of, scales and stuff like that. You want to explain some of the bands that you feel are bands that we both like? And if there's a difference between progressive and math?
Well, whenever I think of math rock, I think of like Giraffes. I like them a lot, and I know that there's like some people don't like it because it's like hard to think about, it's hard to feel, but I think like Giraffes and like This Town Needs Guns, they can really make it feel like you can actually move to it. So I like that type of stuff a lot, but I've never really been good at like distinguishing genres, and like I think, Danny, you're probably better at explaining that. I can't really. I just know that I like those bands. So
yeah, I think that's we've had discussions like that, Daniel, about like certain genres and like what it is and what it's not and stuff like that. And it's very. It can be very bougie sometimes. Like you could feel bougie and you're like, oh, it's not really that. It's like this and it's like that. That's why I don't like having discussions like that anymore, because I feel like I'm a bitch talking about it, because it's like they're like, oh, I like for instance, like, oh, I like Avenged Sevenfold, they're like a badass metal band. I was like, well, technically they're this and this and that. Well, fuck, you just ruined it for me, thanks. Now I have to think about these subgenres of what this band is now. Like it's the tism talking. All right, we're just gonna say the tism talking.
It's kind of like craft beer drinkers.
Yeah, it's like a craft beer kind of shit.
It's like you look at someone drinking like a Bud Light and you're just like, peasant.
I do that already because I don't like Bud Light. So
I feel like music is music. Like there's something for everyone out there.
Sure.
If you don't like certain type of music, there's something else for you. So
just go ahead and
why
listen to
bash it?
Sabrina Carpenter and Travis Scott. And
yeah, it's not for me, but it's for other people.
Chappelle Roan.
Chappelle Roan. I have this joke, and it's not funny, but I call her Dave Chappelle Ronan. It's stupid because it's like her name's like what, Chappelle Roan, and I was like, oh, Dave Chappelle Roan, but no one gets the joke, so it's like farce found on my face. So, but she has some kind of okay music. She's pretty cool. I mean,
she's a fucking crazy singer, dude.
She got fat ass. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen that.
I heard that song "Good Luck Babe" just like a couple of days ago, and towards the end of the song, she detuned the whole mix or something.
Okay.
Or she slows down the mix so everything feels like it's going out of key. And somehow she still matches all of that singing on top of it. So
it's like going like half a step tuned down or something like that? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. She's just
I'll have to check that out.
Amazing at singing.
Stuff like that. I like when songs will change keys or change it to like different tuning, and it gives it a certain type of character, you know? Kind of like what Stevie Wonder would do, or like Fleetwood Mac, or just bands like that would just be like in the studio high as a kite, but like, oh, let's change the key and do this, and oh, that sounds pretty cool and stuff like that. So I think was it being different and trying new things in the studio is lost with new artists, especially like pop artists, because they just kind of want to follow the formula and be like, okay, this is what works, this is what brings me streams and money, why am I going to try anything different? But I think what Chaperone is like, she wants to do something different to stand out, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think I seen this Ed Sheeran interview, and he was just like, I think he played like the same four chords in the same progression, and he pulled out like 4 or 5 different songs that are in like the top Billboard charts, and it's all the same.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran is that type of guy too. He's just playing G, D, C, and there's like Grammy Award winning songs of like, yeah, there you go. He just plays 3-4 chords. And
well, speaking of key though, like one thing about being in this band, at least for sure, is that I'm learning more because I'm self-taught. So I never really had like a whole, like actual formal lesson by anybody. And I know I was taught by the basics to one of my cousins who played, but now like when we're in band rehearsal and we're talking about time signatures and stuff like that, like I'm learning more like these new things because I've never really took the time to learn, which is good because I'm sure it's gonna help actually knowing music theory and stuff like that, which is I really appreciate, especially y'all too. When it comes to that, because before I was always just by ear and I didn't know what this was actually called, with just the term stuff, which is pretty cool.
I'm the same way. I was self-taught, and I knew a little bit of time signatures, like a 3/4, 4/4, 6/8, stuff like that, and my ear has been pretty good, helping me out for the last 20 years. So I mean, I've gone pretty far without a little bit of music theory. And I've had people tell me, like, well, you should look into it. Like, it's not that hard. But I think for me, my brain is kind of like, no, it's okay. I think you got pretty far with just, like, doing whatever. So, but, I mean, it does help learning time signatures and different key changes and stuff like that, because you don't want to look like a loser and be like, hey, dude, what key is this in? A-B, or something like that. Like, you don't want to look dumb. So, but yeah, I'm self-taught as well. So
yeah, I get that.
I'm tired, so I don't. I'm just rambling now.
I'm kind of self-taught also, like at first, but then I joined band like the second half of high school, and that's what really pushed me to like learn more, because whenever I joined as a junior, everyone in band at that point had been in band since like middle school for like years, so like I had to catch up with them at this type of school and like learn stuff they already like learned in middle school. And by doing that, it helped me like musically as a musician in a band, or just as a guitar player, because like Luigi was saying, like he's learning stuff like time signatures and stuff like that. And that's something I had to learn in high school because we were in competitions, like doing UIL. So if I messed up, then like the whole group suffered. So I had to like really like get my brain to understand like 7, 8
so this
times.
was like school. You were doing music
Yeah.
for school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in high
Damn.
school. And I just had to learn all about that, because if I didn't, then like my team would suffer, you know. And that kind of taught me a lot about being in a band also, because it's a team effort, you know. We're all contributing certain parts to it. And like Luigi was saying, we can like learn from each other, because we both, I mean, like, I feel like the band is kind of split in two, like with them two and then me and Richard, because we're both like in bands, you know, like, you know, us in a band and then them two in a band, and also like our taste in music, like them two are really like into like Avenged Sevenfold, stuff like that, and us we're into like like Giraffes, Chon, that kind of music. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but
Oh, self-taught thing.
yeah,
I think, are we all self-taught? Because I am too.
yeah, like I've never paid for lessons or anything like that. Like all the lessons I've gotten were just like in school, in high school.
Shout out to Marty Schwartz on YouTube.
Dude, for real. That's how I learned my first songs, my first chords. I had to tune a guitar because I had no idea like you had to tune it.
I had a couple lessons from this older white guy that a teacher of mine recommended, and this guy was like in the hood, and I'm like, this is kind of weird. But when you walked into his studio, he had platinum records, gold records of country artists, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he had like Clint Black, who's like a native Houstonian, who's, you know, really big in the country music scene and all these other things. And it was a recording studio, and I was like, he's got a recording studio in the hood, an old white guy? I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, this is weird. But all that to say is he taught me like basic chords. He taught me like how to use a capo, how to read certain things and this and that. And then was like, all right, go ahead and learn on your own. And at that time, the internet was primitive as fuck. So like you couldn't find tabs, you couldn't find chord charts or something like that. So like I had like basic websites.
When was this? When were you starting?
This was around 2003, 2004.
Was that still during the dial-up era?
Yeah, somewhat, like kind of like dial-up is coming out.
Dude, I remember that shit.
Like, I think I forgot what the first website that I used, but like it was this weird website that was like learn TV theme songs, and I was like, okay, I'll learn the Mission Impossible do. I'm like, okay, this is kind of stupid. And then later on, I found Ultimate Guitar, which I mean, everybody knows Ultimate Guitar.
Like,
and from there, that's like where my musical journey went, and I've learned a lot of cool things. From
I still have that installed on my phone for sure.
I have to pay. It sucks that you have to pay for it now. Like,
I
it
think
was
what
so
is it,
free.
like $10 or something for
Something
a
like
year.
that.
I don't know. Yeah, I pay for it. No, I
You
pay for
torrent it.
it. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was hard learning like in the early 2000s because it was like there's not much, and then you don't want to get those DVDs of like those weird white guys who are like learn to play punk rock, and it's just like bullshit songs that no one's heard of like punk rock.
Green Day was actually like the first band, like one of my favorite. Like I think I'm pretty sure it's my favorite band, and that was like how I started learning, was just bar
They have
chords.
they have very basic,
and then that's it.
yeah, chords and structures and stuff like that. And it's cool because like the Dookie days and stuff like that were like different. Like it was basic chords, but like their melodies were just so like weird. But it was a cool learning experience. So, but what were like the first bands that y'all learned to play with, like when y'all started off?
Stone Temple Pilots, you know, Plush. Like that song a lot. Like I don't know, like
Classic.
like I've always been into grunge music, and whenever I heard that, I just loved how dissonant it sounded, because they're not like traditional chords that they're using. So when I learned that, it was like a game changer for me. I was like, okay, this is fucking badass. And White Stripes, Seven Nation Army.
Oh yeah, that's in everyone's repertoire for sure.
Yeah, and there's one more. I guess like Nirvana, like learning Breed was pretty cool. Because when I first heard it, I was like, dude, like you must be like an expert to play songs like this. But then I learned it, I was like, holy shit, I guess I'm pretty cool on guitar now.
It's all about the delivery.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but Kurt Cobain was kind of sloppy when he played live, though.
Which is why it was so like accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think I like the sloppy style of Kurt and like Billy Corgan, because it gives it this character, and it's like it's not just traditional strum. It's like, what the fuck? They're not even just doing it right. But it gives it the songs, and it gives they're playing different like character. Like with Kurt didn't really give a fuck. He's just like, I'm gonna play how I feel, and that's how Breed sounded. So. But enough, yeah. What about you, Richard? What were your influences when you first started out?
Music was kind of like I didn't start playing until I was out of high school.
Okay.
But it was really like important to me. Like my dad, he was a guitar player, and so I guess I get my musicality from my dad's side because. My grandma, that whole side, pretty much everybody was like musically inclined, and so he just kind of understood music really well. And I never really actually got to see him play, but I just kind of know that he was just kind of naturally really good, and he kind of put the influence on me of 80s rock like Judas Priest, Queensryche, Dokken, Alcatraz, Sabbath and stuff. So I listened to that a lot because I didn't grow up with the internet. I was just listening to whatever my parents were listening to, which was that.
Yeah.
So like Scorpions and all that, like that's what I was listening to. And then I got into high school. No, middle school. System of a Down was really huge. So I like that a lot. And I actually met whenever I was 11 years old, my aunt had this boyfriend who was a drummer, and he just did this thing on the table. He did this like a little drum roll with his fingers, just his two fingers, and it was fast and it was loud. And I was like, how the fuck do you do that? So I realized he was a drummer, and I started tapping on everything just the way he was, and I started like picturing how the drums were set up, and I would just like try and make the sounds with my hand. Like the palm was the bass, and my knuckles were the snare or the hi-hat, things like that. And I would like drum along to System of a Down, Disturbed, and like all those bands that were popping off at that time, like in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And then I actually was singing before I was drumming officially. In high school, I was singing along to Judas Priest and Queensryche a lot because those were my favorite singers. Yeah, because their range and everything was just crazy, and their vibrato was really great. And then when I was 19 is when I finally got my drum set, and the stuff that I started to learn was like a lot of Godsmack, because that drummer is like really good.
Yeah,
he has like some crazy tom grooves, and but then I almost immediately joined a band. It was like 6 months in, I joined a band, which was with my friend Michael, who is really good at guitar, like probably one of the like best musicians I've ever met. And he was doing music since he was in middle school, playing saxophone and then guitar. So yeah, me and him were in the band. We made a band, and then I started getting into more like, at that time it was like indie was huge, like 2012 2013 is when it became really big. So like I came on to UMO and like the Growlers, and like I started listening to like Strawberry Girls, and and then like I had always known about like Fall of Troy, so they were really big in my listening. And then it just kind of kept going from there. I started taking a step back and like past the 80s, like 70s, 60s, 50s. I really loved the Beatles, and then I went back to like modern, and then as a drummer I just started to like appreciate all the like intricacies of like, or just like styles, or like how they fit notes into spaces. So I never really got into the bottom, but like the drummer from This Town Needs Guns was really good for me. The drummer from Chan, and like Don Caballero, he was crazy. He was like actually leading the band, which is really cool to have like a drummer lead the band. And then like this new band, Crack Cloud, the drummer's the leader, and he's always like the main speaker in interviews too. He's like the main visionary, and he also sings. So I think he's kind of like the example right now for me, because he's new, and he's smart. He's very clear in his vision, and like I just kind of aspire to be like that in a band. And it's pretty cool because like in this band, everybody's kind of able to step on to the microphone and sing. So anybody listen to Crack Cloud, I think they're really dope. So the Strokes, Julian Casablancas, love him. That's another really huge influence.
Did you ever like pencil tap when you were a kid? Like tap with pencils?
That I never really got into. That was like really popular too. People would be like,
I love to do that too. I still do that.
And I was like, bro, I can go faster than that, and I can use all of my hand. All you got is your pencil and your palm. I got all this other stuff.
What about you, Gray? What about you? What were your influences when you were starting off?
I did a lot of whatever was popular on the radio at the time. I started off on the acoustic guitar. So really whatever was popular at the time, I tried learning because all the easy stuff. And then whatever my family members, whatever songs they liked and everything. Just kind of like that. I learned I didn't look up songs at first. I just looked up how to play. Like what are the shapes and everything. Once I understood like Cage and everything, then I started looking into songs, but just whatever was popular at the time. It wasn't until like a couple of years into playing acoustic guitar when I got my electric and stuff, and then really when I decided to start the band was Daniel in high school. Is when and then at the time I had developed my taste for like metal music and hard rock, that I started looking at bands like Avenged, Slipknot, Stone Sour was one. They play a lot of Stone Sour, Nirvana, of course, stuff like that, White Stripes and all that. But more or less, my journey.
Is there a genre of music that you listen to that people don't know that you like? Like, is there something like obscure where you're just like, yeah, I listen to that?
Like K-pop, a lot of Japanese metal,
okay,
shit like that.
Yeah, you showed me some baby metal. That was actually
really good.
That was pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. The funny thing is, like, I grew up with two older sisters, so I listened to whatever they listened to whenever they were home because they looked after me. So I was surrounded by, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears. I still fuck with that, man. No shame in the game. But like, if you look at my playlist, it's everywhere, man. Mm-hmm. There's the rock, then there's some pop, got very little country, and then we're all Hispanic, right? So yeah, so you got the classics, you got some Mark Anthony.
I like Legato 7. They're dope.
Okay.
No, that good stuff.
What about you, Danny? What is something that you listen that people don't know you listen to that you just like, yeah, I fuck with that?
I guess like old 50s music, like some like 50s country maybe.
Okay. Like
Willie Nelson. What's the other guy? Hank Williams, I think.
Okay.
The first one. I guess people wouldn't expect I listen to that because it's pretty old. Like Robert Johnson, like 30s rock, not rock, but like guitar music.
Yeah.
The blues musician. Yeah, just stuff like that. Because I feel like there's stuff there that people are forgetting about. You know what I mean? I feel like nowadays people are more focused on what's popular now, like modern pop music, modern like rap, stuff like that, and people are kind of forgetting that there's good stuff back then also, and you gotta absorb it, because it's there. You can check it out anytime you want. It's there.
Yeah.
Different perspectives, different like different styles of playing music were popular back then, and maybe we can learn from that. That's mine. I
think we think that sometimes we discovered something on our own, but we're all like everybody before, so we we don't think about going to the past and like looking at all that stuff. Like I'm pretty sure everybody has already like discovered what you are going through. So reading something instead of like, I guess, yeah, of course, like go through your own experiences, but like if you just it's kind of like just redundant after that. Like people are just making the same book because they felt that way, but like somebody 100 years already did that. You could have read that book, or they did that in music, and you're just, I don't know. I guess people are thinking that they're original, but really somebody else already did it.
It's just a different style or a different update of it.
Yeah.
What about you, Rich? What else have you listened to like that people don't really? Because you've talked about like the Beatles and stuff like that, but is there like a different genre where like people would be like, "What the fuck? You listen to that?"
Oxhamel, I think is how you pronounce it. It's like, it feels like it's very heavily like rhythmic, just like over and over. Like they kind of just like subdue themselves into a rhythm and they don't stop. And it's almost like you can kind of just lounge to it.
Okay.
And there's no like poppy, like there's no hooks or anything, but like it's just there. Or like Daedalus, he's an electronic artist, and at this point it just sounds like noise to me. He's just like gotten so deep into like electronic stuff, and so I'm sure it makes sense to him, and he's like making what he wants to make. But like he just came out with an EP today, and I listened to it on the way over here, and I don't know, it's weird. He like makes it's music, but like the sounds that he comes up with is just like, it's so different. It's so, I don't know, he's just like really mastered like patches and like, you know, just like all the I think he can perform a show just with like one little pad with buttons, and that's like, I don't know, he's totally tuned into that. And then I like Brian Eno a lot. I forget what it's called. It's something with science, the Science record, Before Science or something like that. That album was like one of my favorites. If nobody knows that I listen to Talking Heads, I fucking love Talking Heads. Remain in Light is my favorite album. My favorite tracks are what do you call it? Born to Punches, which is I think the opening song, and then Cross-Eyed and Painless, I think, is the song. Just like, it's all very just rhythmic, and it just keeps going. It keeps going. So I look forward to the day where I could just like fall into a rhythm for like 2 or 3 minutes with y'all, and y'all just like let me play that over and over, and then we just get lost, and it just morphs into something weird. That'd be cool.
We've had some jam sessions. We're just, when you just hit a beat, and then like we'll just start playing, and then all of a sudden we're like, after what, like 8 minutes or so, we're like, that was pretty cool.
Like Grateful Dead-ish kind of, like where you just like,
but
it's one thing,
and we never recorded. Well, not never, but in the beginning we're like, fuck.
Now we record most of the rehearsal.
We're like, how do we reproduce this again? I don't know. It was just kind of in the moment.
For me, something that people don't know. I mean, I've said this before, but I like house music. And it doesn't look like I like house music. It's probably like, oh, you probably listen to like punk rock, which I mean I do, but I like early 90s house music. And I like techno stuff too. Like growing up in the mid to late 90s, it's what you would hear sometimes on the radio. Not you would hear on the radio, but like the stuff that would be in the top 40 would be kind of like that. And then MTV was pretty big around the house because my parents were pretty young. And I don't know, I just heard shit. And in the early 2000s, it kind of like took off. And I don't know, I just started discovering shit like that. And I was like, okay, I like stuff like this. But that's what I listen to sometimes when I'm on the road working. I've talked about this before too. Like I listen to like the Grateful Dead now. Like I like the Grateful Dead. I totally ignored them for like a long time because what? Say it.
You remember that one time we talked to you?
And I talk about it?
Yeah, no. Like that one time at Wonky Power.
Oh, and I was like, dude.
And Gabe and I talked to you, and you told us about Grateful Dead. Once Gabe and I left, he's like, I've never heard of Grateful Dead. And I'm like, you sure you never heard of him? He's like, yeah, dude. Like, let me check them out right now and see what I think. And he put them on, and we were driving home. Like he was driving, and like he didn't last like 30 seconds. I think he was like, dude,
What song was it?
I don't know. He's like, I just can't. He like took it off. He's like, I can't.
So, the thing about the Dead is that it's their live stuff. Their live stuff is where it's at. Because it's like, okay, with the studio records, it's like it's a studio. It's not like, you know the difference between the
You
studio
said it
and the
was
live.
life changing. You said
No,
it was a life-
I swear to God, Gabe.
Don't walk it back, bro.
No, hey, I'm telling you right now.
Say what
I'm
you
telling you.
dog.
And Daniel warned me. He's like, I don't know, bro.
No, like, wow.
Dude, I've never really listened to Grateful Dead, so I don't know.
So,
I don't
so
know.
like, it's everyone that I've talked to says that there has to be there's a way to get in. Like, it's not just like you listen to it and I'm like, oh, like I like this. No, there has to be like a certain entry point that gets you into it. So my entry point was John Mayer, because John Mayer is with Dead and Company, which is some of the members of the Grateful Dead and other people that they play with. And I'm a John Mayer fan, and I love his music. So when I started like, he was playing with them, I was like, okay. So I started listening to it, and I was like, oh shit! Like if he's playing this and it sounds like this with the Grateful Dead, then like it has to be better. And then like I started watching documentaries, and I started watching live videos on YouTube.
The documentary will win you over. That
Huh?
that 6-episode one.
Yeah. And then like the Jerry Garcia, I was just like, to me, it's like mind blowing, because I'm like, Jerry Garcia does not get the credit that he should, because that guy was really good, and he was kind of like the leader of like the band and like what he wanted. And you know how like some bands play the same song, how it is every show, and like every note's for note. Well, he did it differently. He did shit that was like, it didn't sound the same. Every show was different. And the cool thing is that like, I mean, yeah, psychedelics helped, obviously. I mean, you know,
I might have. Oh, go ahead.
but there's just something about the band that I guess it's because like they're rooted in like blues and country and classic or early Americana rock and stuff like that. That I'm like, okay. I mean, early stuff, yeah, kind of corny shit, you know, but I think it's like their stuff in like the 70s when they started dealing with psychedelic rock and like jam band stuff that would be like leading to like 8, 10, 12 minutes of stuff where it was like, wow, this shit's cool. So yeah, I get it. Like some people are like, yeah, no, turn this shit off. Like, yo, no, he's crazy. But it's like that aha moment for people where it's like, oh shit, you know, because like I used to think like, what the fuck is this band? Like, why is this older guy playing with these younger people? Like, it made no sense. Like, Jerry Garcia looked like an 80s like old fucking man. But I was just like,
I like the Blues of Allah, that album.
I like a lot of blues music, a lot of like B.B. King
Or Blues for
Stevie
Allah.
Ray, and stuff like that. Like, I love blues music because it's just something. It's more emotion than it is playing, I think. Because you can play all the fucking notes you want, but it's that emotion that comes behind it, and that feeling that's like that tugs at your heartstrings. So
I might have heard that the Grateful Dead, they allegedly have their own acid. You know, that's,
one of the guys that was in the band actually created like LSD.
yeah, like, I think they
Yeah.
have their own like acid like brand or whatever. Or
Their early
something, I don't know.
days in San Francisco in the 60s, they used to play at these acid parties. Yeah, like people would just go take acid, and you know how white people dance. It's just fucking moving around like chickens with no head. But that's how they got their start. They would play these acid parties while they were on acid, and it was just like experimental and everything.
Have you guys ever played like a show under the influence?
Yes.
Of acid?
Acid or whatever. it may
I
be?
played under weed, and that was a weird. That was a weird. Were you there at the show?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I was high as fuck.
Did you see that video of I think Santana? He told a story when he was tripping on acid.
At Woodstock?
Then at Woodstock, and then he was just like playing. You see it in his face, and he kind of narrates it about like he's like the neck string of the guitar. I mean, the neck of the guitar would look like a snake or something to him.
Yeah.
But he's Santana, so I guess he fucking knocked it out of the park. But like, but yeah, have you guys ever like really like, but like a little bit too much? Like, I understand getting a little buzz, you know, for the nerves or whatever, but like to the point where you're like, fuck, I'm fucked right now.
And it's funny because that all circles around the Grateful. Jerry Garcia is the one that gave him the LSD before he went on stage, and I've read that story and seen it where he like, he prayed. He was like, please help me, God, get through this, because like I'm tripping out. And like, yeah, his neck was like a snake, and he was just like trying to control it. And obviously you could see in his face, he was just like, you know, like fucking like, oh shit, this shit stinks. But like, I mean, like you said, he knocked it out, and it's one of the greatest performances, like at Woodstock and in the '60s and his career. Like, it's fucking phenomenal. Dude was high on LSD.
I haven't performed on acid, but I recorded a song on acid.
Oh really?
It's the one that I sent you on.
Spitter.
The one called Spitter.
Yeah, we're gonna get into
Did
that
you send
tonight.
me that, Danny, or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I gotta hear that then. Let me see that. Pretty cool.
I didn't perform a show on acid, but I have played with a band on acid, and that shit was hard.
Really?
I couldn't do it. I was too much in my mind. But I think what made it hard was that we were trying to create at the same time, and like structure and formulate ideas, like instead of just like making it free flow and like just kind of rolling with a concept. No, we had to like actually think about stuff, and I was like, I can't do this.
It's hard to function.
Yeah, it is when like
there needs to just be flow. There needs to just be flow, and there wasn't that, so it was really hard.
I've done it a long time ago with my buddy Lance, and it was awesome, but not during a show. Fuck no. Like, I remember once, this is when I was still in New Jersey, and I had answered this dude's like random ad that they're looking for a guitar player to play in his restaurant, and then I answered it. He told me to come through, and it wasn't even like hey, like, let me talk to you. It was like, no, like I come through ready to play, and I was just like, okay, sure. So I show up with my friend Gabby, and I'm here thinking it's like a he said restaurant, but it was like a hole in the wall dive bar, like kind of like the 19th hole. Y'all been there? Yeah, it was like that. And so I told the guy, I'm like, hey, you need a guitar player? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, where's the other guys? He's like, oh no, it's just you. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, just play, you know, whatever for like an hour, this and that. And then he's like, do you know any Guns N' Roses? He said. Okay. And I was like, you want me to do Guns N' Roses like by myself? And I was like, no, I can do whatever. So he just let me play whatever. And I was probably about 20 at the time, 21 at most. No, I was like 21 maybe. And I was super nervous, so I started drinking a lot just to get through. Me and my friend Gabby, we just started pounding IPAs. Damn. And by the time I got up, I was slapped, bro. I was hammered. And to this day, I couldn't tell you what I played. I think the only one I remembered was playing what's that song by Green Day, the Dukia, the most famous one, Basket. I was playing Basket Case. But I was just super out of it. I could barely remember it. It was horrible. It was a horrible experience. It was fun, but I mean, I'm glad I got the courage to do it. But man, it was bad, bro. And we've had some bad performances, man, before, especially in our old band.
Why, being too fucked up?
Nah, it's just a bad show. Like you've had like just a show where you're just like nothing's going right. Like in the old band, I think we were mid show, and that was before I had a tuner built, like a tuner pedal, so I had one of those clip-on things, and it just was not registering strings at all. I was super out of tune, and then for like the song and a half, I just stopped playing. I just went to the side of the stage trying to tune my guitar, but it was really loud. It was awful, and then it was fucking bad, bro.
What you gave? Have you been under the influence while playing?
I've just been drunk, dude. every single show. There hasn't been one where I've been sober. Yeah. But I made it from start to end.
Yeah, no, he's powered through. I didn't even, like, most of the shows that I played with Grey Blue over here, I didn't even know he was hammered until like the end of the show. And then
it's like a very calm demeanor.
And he's just like destroyed.
I think at 19th hole, like when you were the most drunk.
I think my hair was a mess.
19th hole, you were like rocking back and forth like this.
Heavy rocking.
I mean, but it's funny because like I remember before the shows I would buy, be like, hey, Grey Blue, you want some shots? He's like, that's the thing I love about this man. He'll never say no to a shot, bro. He's like, all right, fuck it. And then, sure enough, like, and then I just don't notice it that he's drinking. He's just pretty low key about it, and I don't even know. And then all of a sudden, I think one show I had the inclination, because I remember I was in the middle, And then I was just getting the intro to one of the songs, and I kind of stepped on the thing, and then I just hear Gabriel like on the microphone. He's like, "And this is our guitarist, Louis. Let's go!" And then you can hear it in the video. I'll show you later.
Yeah.
But it was, I mean, but he never like was unprofessional about it. Like he played the whole fucking set list like the way it should be.
The one time I've been high at a show was for this band that I played in a couple of years
Is
ago.
it Soli?
With Soli, yeah. So, kind of to condense the story, I was in this band. We reached out to this guy named Harley, who's still active. That's fucking crazy. And we played this rundown fucking beer garden backyard of
like the noise
bullshit.
garden or something like that.
Some stupid bullshit. And this guy's like, "Hey guys, you want to get high?" And like this weird garage he had that was like, it looked country western, but like modern country western, but like ghetto for some. It's weird. So he's like, "Yeah, let's get high." So he's cutting up the weed, he's doing all this shit, grinding it, and I knew something was weird about this guy when he had a Jay-Z album. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna roll it up on this. This is trash." And I'm like, what did I get myself into? I'm like, what the fuck? So we're all smoking, and it hit me already. I was like, oh shit. And we play. I can't tell you what song I fucking played. All I can tell you is that I had the Call of Duty point of view. Yeah, I was like, that was my guitar, and I'm like, how the fuck am I playing? And I kept looking at the drummer, because he looked kind of funny looking, and I just kept laughing. And he's like, "Why are you laughing?" He's like, "We're not even playing anything yet." And I'm like, "Oh." So I power through it, and like, I still don't know how I did it. I don't remember shit. But I remember that I was high, and I had that Call of Duty point of view, like the whole show.
Like
obviously,
the stats and everything.
Yeah, like the stats. And I'm like, yeah, you're this fucked up
His
right
KD
now.
was like 1 in 30 that night.
And I felt bad too, because there was this guy named Matt Harlan. He's like a country artist, very acoustic, and he kept playing, and it's really good music, but I just kept laughing, and I was like, this guy probably thinks I'm making fun of him and shit, but I was like, no, I'm high as fuck. But after that, I've never played high ever again. I played on alcohol, but never on weed. I think that's something I don't want to do anymore, because like, I'd rather be clear-minded and focused while I play. And I can do that while I'm drinking, but on weed, no.
I used to play high a lot in my first band. Me and the guitar player kind of had a ritual with that. Mm-hmm. We'd smoke before, and we'd also drink. But we had a perfect balance this one show, and it was a house show. And maybe that's why we felt more comfortable, because it was a house show and it was just a bunch of friends. But that was literally our best show we ever played. And it was cool because like the way it worked out is we had finally accomplished like a full set list with some solid originals. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel like, because sometimes the weed can turn on me, and I feel like I get lost in the song because like I'm like, how long has it been? And that's really bad for a drummer. You need to know where you are in the song. But that day, I just knew where I was, and everything felt so perfectly spaced out. So like I can do fills that I wanted to do, and like just like my touch, everything was just perfect. I think we smoked Blue Dream or something. And after the show, me and him, I knew that it was a good show. And we even did like a jam at the end. And like it was cool because like I thought it was done, but the Michael the guitar and Alex the bass, they kept playing, and I was already standing up walking away, and then I sat back down. But before I sat down, I was actually playing my drum standing up.
Yeah.
So like just cool stuff like that was happening. And then at the end, whenever we finally stopped, Michael he like fell on the couch laughing. He's like, dude, what the fuck did we just do? That was so cool. I'm like, I know. And that was the best show that we ever played. But then we also played really terrible shows high, and I think I was the person who ruined it, because like I don't know, man, some people can do it, man. Some people can really like be tripping and play and capitalize, but I think I do my best sober. I do my best sober in a show, in a live setting. Creatively, any state of mind, I think I can do it. But yeah, in a show where they're depending on me to really hold down that drums, yeah, tripping or something is just not.
Better to do it after the show. Yeah.
Yeah, do it after, or don't even do it. Like, I don't know, like that was young, so 19, 20, 21 and stuff. Like, now I'm fine living sober, so, and playing sober.
So going back to Sentilion, what is y'all plan for 2025? Like, what do you have? Do you guys have some new music in the fucking vault? Like, y'all gonna release, or you're gonna like do a show?
Yeah, we have a few songs we're writing. You know, each of us, you know, has an idea. We're gonna go ahead and work on it. Not all the ideas that we have, but a lot of ideas we have been working on. We're planning on releasing an EP. We're gonna re-record Rebirth as well with the new members. We're gonna start playing shows soon. Hopefully by the end of this year. If not, then by the beginning of next year for sure. Just play shows in general. Play with some of the bands that we're already cool with. You know, share the stage with our homies. Gabe, anything else?
No, I pretty much covered it. Yeah, planning on releasing about 1 or 2 more singles, and then afterwards we'll compile those and then some unreleased songs into an EP. Finally mark the first little era of Sentilion, and from there see what happens. And yeah, obviously play with all the bands that we've met along the way since we formed Sentilion. And then, you know, actually recently shout out to Bone Creature for releasing their first single. So, you know, they kind of started at the same time we did. Okay. So it's pretty cool to see them and see how far they've gone as well. So,
yeah, I've seen some of their stuff.
What was it?
Bone Creature.
Bone Creature.
Yeah, the good thing is that we have in the vault we don't have a short of ideas, and
I think it's time right now.
Yeah, because, you know, we all have our lives, you know, jobs and all that stuff. But you know, that's slow but surely. You know, we're gonna you know, see what we can pull out. I like the organization. Ree has been really good with the organization, which I really appreciate. Huge contrast from my old band with Grey Blue. And you know, I think we touched on it a little bit. It's like, yeah, we all have different styles or preferences as far as subgenres, but the cool thing is that we're really like open to listening to each other's ideas, song ideas. Just even if it's just like, hey, I got like a hook, or I got just a chorus, and then if you got, we'll play, we'll jam out, see if it turns into anything. And you know, not everything is going to make the cut, but, you know, just the willingness by everybody to just give it a whirl, you know, I think is really important. It has pretty good vibes, you know, so, you know, with all the ideas we have, we should have, I think we have 4 that are like, you know, they're not ready yet, but, you know, they're in the works. They're in the works, and then, you know, we have a lot of stuff that we have just in the vault. To see, you know, what sticks, what works, what doesn't work, and just really excited to, you know, play some new music.
I'm excited for you guys. Like, it, you know, were you already in Sentilion when I met you, Daniel? Or were you already out of it and then forming Street Couch? Yeah,
whenever I met you, Sentilion had just ended. Like, it had just ended, and I was forming Street Couch with Angel. Street Couch, the band.
So that's kind of like a full circle moment where it's like you're coming back to it, and like I finally get to see like this whole like Sentilion.
It's crazy.
It's like this in the movies, you know, you break up with your significant other, and then like 20 years, 10 years later, you're like, you reunite serendipitously.
Yeah.
Like I thought when they're talking, like, it's really cool to see how like each of us take the lead, you know, in certain areas. Like, for example, I feel like Richard is kind of taking the lead in the whole like Luigi was saying, the whole like organizing the files and stuff like that. Because he took it upon himself. Like, we didn't ask him to do that. He just did it. He's like, you know what? It should be more organized. All the songs we're sending to each other, all the notes. Let's keep it here, you know, and stuff like that. Even with the writing, because like Luigi's the main vocalist, but Richard like does like a lot of the writing as well. You know, like lyric writing. And yeah, like Luigi, he kind of took the lead with the photo shoot because it was just his idea to do it at the hotel. He was the one telling us, all right, we're going to do it here, that, and that. And we kind of just listened, you know, we just took a step back and listened, all right. just listen to his ideas. He's like, all right, let's go to the hallways, do this and that. And Gabe, pretty much like with the whole like band, you know, in general, like he's the one that like rounds everyone up, and he's like, all right guys, let's do this and that. He's like Captain America of the team, you know.
Which is good, because like I think bands and band members should take some small part in the band. It shouldn't just be one sole person, you know, one sole person that does the shows or books the shows. Okay, hey, and then I got to do this and I got to do that. Like, I think it's really healthy as a band to split up the responsibilities and stuff like that. Like, you know, you don't want to put on one person, because sometimes they can be really stressful, and it could really ruin the vibe of the band, because then they're going to be like, well, I do everything, you guys don't do anything. But it's good, you know, like, we've met people, and I know people who are like that.
Oh, yeah.
So
we know some people like that. It's
good to split the responsibilities with everybody, and everybody's cool with it. No one thinks like, oh, he's doing more than I am, I need to do. It's like, you know, he does this, he does that, he does this, and he does that, and it works well. So that's cool that you guys do that. Hell yeah. I wish more bands were like that, you know, and not just fucking getting upset because one person wants to help and they just want to do it on themselves.
Maybe because we're like a little older, you know. Yeah. I'm because I'm 32, and maybe when I was like 19 or 20, if I was in the band, you know, might be different, you know, egos and all that.
Yeah.
But I guess now since a lot of us have gone through, you know, negative experiences with other projects and stuff like that. Yeah. So now it's just like you learn from your mistakes, and since we're all like pretty close in age for the most part, I think, you know, I guess it's just maturity where, you know, I don't need to be like, well, my song didn't make it, so I'm just not gonna bring any ideas because like they don't want to listen to me. You know, fuck you guys.
Personality, I think it just works out though too. Like, I think we all are pretty chill, and like it doesn't even have to be like a clear understanding like with a big conversation. It just seems like we all kind of pay attention to how we all step in at some points, and it's just like, okay, that's good, that's helpful, let's just roll with that. And then like I don't know, it just works out. Like this is my third band since living in Houston. This is my fourth year in Houston, and the first two bands I had people who wanted to just control it all, and you know, in their minds that they think that the reason why they're controlling it is because it's their baby and they want to protect it and they want to let it grow. But I think at the same time it was like suffocating, and it was it's kind of like, you know, when you're being too overbearing with the kid or something, and it just kind of really messes up the chemistry and just like your relationship with the music. And so with this band, we're collaborative and everybody respects each other, everybody's chill,
everyone's on the same page,
and everyone's on the same page. And I think it just kind of fell that way. I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like when Gabe came out, when Gabe showed, he just came to practice one day. He showed us a demo of a song. He wrote it like front to back, like pretty much finished. Mm-hmm. And then he showed us the videos, how to, you know, I like that he takes the time to do that stuff for us. So we're not like during practice space, we're like, how do you play this? How do you do that? No, he's like, during our free time, he'll send us like, hey, this is how I play this part. There's this part. And then it was just, like I said, it was very, very welcoming, you know, because it's like, okay, like the song's already done.
Yeah.
You know, we put like our little input in it, and for the most part, it's what he came up with, and that's one of the songs that we have ready to play. It's actually really fun to play.
Yeah,
I really enjoy that.
I've been in situations where like I had to learn the song on my own because the guys were like, "Oh, I don't know how to play it." And I'm like,
"I don't know what
recorded
I played,
it,"
man.
And it's like, well, I don't know. Like, not to talk bad about the band that I was in, but they were like, okay, we need to learn these songs. These are the songs that we have out. Okay, so I took the time to learn them. And when we got to rehearsal, they're like, how do you know these songs? I was like, because I practiced them? Yeah, but we didn't show you. And I'm like, yeah, because no one offered to show me. No one reached out and said anything, so I had to learn this on my own. And even the person that wrote the song forgot how he played it, and I was just like, what is going on here? Like, there's no structure to anything. So I mean he's a cool dude, but
You gotta appreciate musicianship. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't remember what you're playing and you're calling it a song, and I mean, you gotta remember it.
Yeah,
if
you gotta
want
know.
to make that a song.
Yeah, you
gotta-
played it, you recorded it, you wrote it. You should know how to play it.
Yeah.
You should know how to teach somebody how to play it, and not just be like, well, he'll figure it out. He's a musician. He's a guitarist. He should know. Like, no, that's
It
that's not how
slows
works.
down. It slows down the process of like making songs. That's why, like, when one of us comes with like a full idea, like how Grey Blue had that song from beginning to end, like that's a solid song, and it really saves so much time. But he also has like a nice setup to like record and like sample drums and all that. And I think you, Danny, you have it too. And I'm on my way to having that too. Plans for Sentilion. I'm gonna get a house in the studio. So more songs, more like full-fledged songs, at least coming from me, or being able to like add on to their stuff, like as a drummer at my own place. So yeah, 2025, a whole lot more songs for Sentilion.
Yeah, that's
I
definitely
think.
one thing I'm gonna take it upon myself to do, because like, as far as I know nothing of recording and mixing, like absolutely nothing. But you know, like I know it makes it easier. Like if I come up with like a riff or something, like I can, instead of sending voice notes and stuff like that, I record a sample or whatever you guys want to call it, and then makes it just easier for everybody to mess with it, see what they can come up with.
I feel like learning to record and mix and stuff is a big like game changer, because like you see the audio like visually on the screen, and you can actually like learn how to like manipulate it, and it's just really cool. I mean, like you've done the same thing, the whole learning how to like record and stuff. It's really like eye opening and it's really fun, dude. Like whenever I first start recording, I mean to this day, whenever I record and mix, you get lost in it. Like you start doing some edits and you look at the time, you're like, holy shit, like 5 hours passed already, what the hell? Like you don't even notice, like you just get lost in the zone. It's pretty fun.
I miss doing stuff like that with the music, because I used to record when I was still living with my parents. Like I would sit at the table and I would record shit, and I've had like my Albert Hammond Strokes little phase for a while. The intro to the podcast before the one that I have now, I wrote myself, and it's kind of like a Strokesy indie kind of thing. And when I listened to it, I'm like, how the fuck did I make that? Like I was backtracking like the guitars and stuff like that, and I'm like, I forgot how to do all that. So I really want to get back into recording shit again, because I had some pretty good ideas. And I have a song that I wrote like 10 plus years that I have no music to. And my goal for next year is, or maybe in 2026 too, is to put music to it, flush it out, give birth to it, and just put it out there in the world. So that's something like I want to do like that, because I miss doing that. I mean, that's how I learned to do editing and all that with like the podcast, because I was fucking around with music before. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys for next year, because I know he's got a strong passion of wanting to put shit out, and he could, hit space of like he wants to do this and he wants to do that. So and as long as he's got you guys that want the same thing, nothing can come in your way. So all right, so now this is the time of the podcast where we do unpopular opinions. So Daniel, you know how this goes. Do you have any unpopular opinions? Because I'm gonna give him, since he knows it, and we'll go around. So it could be about anything. It could be about music. Could be about food. It could be about.
Damn, like every time you ask me this question, like my mind just goes blank. Do you want to go first?
I'll go. I don't know. Okay, well, I think it's an unpopular opinion. At least, like, I've noticed that bands starting out, new bands, I think they have like the pressure of wanting to get music out there as fast as possible and play shows as fast as possible. And I think losing sight of just creating a respectable amount of songs. Like whenever the Doors came out, whenever they actually had made it, they were already playing for like probably 3 years, but then they finally got like a deal. Mm-hmm. But that's how you see that they came out with records like in the same year or like the very next years, because they already had 30-40 songs. But these bands are coming out with like 10-minute EPs, because I think they're like, we're a band and we need to like get it out there, and there needs to be like meaning, there needs to be substance, like develop your relationship with your band, develop your songs more, like trust me, the world can wait, and trust me, the world isn't waiting on you. Like if you take a year to really develop your stuff, it's going to show, and people are actually going to really appreciate it, versus just posting a 30-second clip on Instagram saying that your song is out, and the clip that I'm watching, I don't even know what the hell I'm watching, because you didn't take the time to actually like, how does this actually going to be delivered to the person? Like this one band, I'm not going to say the name, but like the video was just, it was like a clip of their music video, and it was just like a close-up of this guy's head. He had a zit on his nose, and it was just like dissonant sound. And then at the end said, coming soon. What's coming soon? The pop of your pimple? Like, so just knowing really what you're trying to like present to the people. Don't be in a rush. Like, just be deliberate in that shit, and
take your time, basically.
Take your time, man.
Yeah,
and
because you have to learn like your craft. You can't just be a fucking chef in like 2 days. You kind of have to go through the training. You kind of have to learn the ups and downs. You kind of have to do the ins and outs and fuck up along the way. Like every band fucks up. You know, sometimes songs are not that great. You got to go back to the drawing board. Sometimes you might have something. But yeah, you're right. I do agree that some bands, they start and in like 2 weeks it's like, oh, we have music. We have to put this out. We have to do a show. It's like, oh, bro, like it's okay. Take your time. Like,
yeah, I mean, you can record it. I mean, that's great. Like Tegan and Sarah, they always had the instinct of recording it. They're like, oh, this is a song, let's get the recorder out. But I mean, they didn't like be like, hey, this is an EP. You know, they just kind of had it there. They had it there. They ended up using it in their books that they're starting to write now. So like, yeah, man, just chill out, man, and put the music first. Stop trying to freaking, like, don't worry about Instagram, don't worry about Twitter. Like, just
I think more is because we live in the time right now where it's like instant gratification is like the new norm, with, you know, everyone being an influencer. I'm doing air quotes for the y'all listening. Or you know, just people on TikTok, they know that they have like 10 seconds to grab the attention, and then they'll do whatever, and then all of a sudden now they have 1 million followers, because of they just putting out content. You know, everyone's like, just pull out content. That's what most, like, I can tell you, like, social media or marketing people will tell you. It's just like, just put out content. But I agree with Ree, is, you know, for music wise, like, you can put out content all you want, but eventually it's like, but is it good? Is it ready? That's the thing.
I mean, you can do that if that's your goal.
Yeah.
If your goal is to just get views, then yeah, put out whatever's trending and stuff.
That's the same thing I told Daniel with like podcasting. Like I was told of like, you got to put out something. You got to put out content. You have to put out content, because if you don't put out content, like everyone's goldfish mind mentality, it's just gonna go away, because, you know, they need to be attracted. They only have like 10, 15, 30 seconds of your time. So it's like, you got to put something out. But as I got older in this, and I realized, like, I don't fucking care. Like, who, you know, like, we don't need instant gratification of an episode. It doesn't have to be a home run every time. It could be a dud.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think I told you that, like, just take your time, have fun with it. Who cares, like, if it sucks? Who cares if it's just a solo? Who cares if, you know, like, just have fun with it, and just have a good time. Like, you don't need to be a fucking Joe Rogan or a fucking popular podcaster. Like, those are people's jobs. This is what we're doing for fun. So it's like, why stress out about it?
Yeah.
So that's what I think. It's the same hand-in-hand, music and podcasts in a way too.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Gabe? You have any
Gabe has a lot of
opinions? No?
He's full of them.
He hates math, Rob.
He hates covers.
He hates
He hates them. Absolutely.
Yeah, you hate covers. You should have never said that, dude.
He's like, I don't out of context.
He's like, I don't hate them. I like playing them, but I just don't want to like make them the main focus. Like, I get it though, but like, I get what you were saying. So,
I mean, like, my unpopular opinion. Hold up, my camera just died, so let me record on my phone.
Oh, that's your camera?
Yeah, that's my camera.
I saw some girl at Fleetfeet with that same one.
so what?
At Fleet, it's the running shoe store that I work at.
Well, in the meantime, as far as it's not musical at all, but I just have a popular opinion. When I moved down to Texas, I'll say it to your face. Like I think Chick-fil-A sucks. Whataburger is awful, and it's just so bad.
Chick-fil-A's kind of gone downhill a little bit. I'm
It's
not gonna
just
lie.
not my thing. Everyone gasps when I say I don't like Chick-fil-A. They're like, "What?"
Well, first of all, like, not even talking about the food, but just fucking.
Alright, Luigi, fuck you. Let us go.
Because in Daniels, he had Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
I want to see fuck Chick-fil-A. It's fucking delicious.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, yeah, it's so bad.
Well, what's
It's
your
gone downhill,
go-to
so.
burger place then?
See, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Burger
I'm a slave to the corporations, man. I fucking love Burger King. Though.
What did you say?
I love Burger King,
I
man.
never go there, but
Burger King is
I-
delicious.
I had the Bacon King or King whatever, and dude, I was like, this is disgusting. Why the fuck am I eating this?
Dude, Whataburger. Maybe it was good when it was like 2 a.m. and I'm wasted, but now.
So the thing that we say here, and I don't know if everyone has said this to you, but like it really depends on location. Like if you go to a certain Whataburger, it's like not all locations are like that. Some people actually give a fuck about their job, and some will actually make the burger for you correctly. Some people don't give a fuck. Like there's two by my area. If I really want it well done made, I go to the one that's on Harrisburg. If I don't really give a fuck, then I'll go to the one that's closer to Gulf Cape. But it all really depends on location. But I mean, I can agree with you that it has gone down the drain ever since they sold to that Chicago company. Like it's like, what the fuck? I don't want fucking flavored wings that you want to call wings. They're just chicken nuggets with flavor. Like, I don't want that. And same thing with Chick-fil-A. Like it's gone downhill. Like, you know, nobody wants to eat pimento cheese chicken sandwich.
Did you
What the
remember when
fuck is
people
that?
were like fighting over the Popeye sandwich years back?
I know what I have. Don't fucking.
That's crazy. That's what.
And the chicken, and it's pretty good. It's good for what it is. But I mean, it's not like
Were you gonna say something?
I'm gonna trade a Popeye's chicken sandwich for a 2018 Chevy Silverado. Like,
No, people were fighting and shit, bro.
I know. I saw that. I thought that was so
insane.
fucking hilarious.
I'm kind of hungry now, man.
That's when I knew
There's a Popeyes right over there.
some society was going downhill. I'm like, fuck, we're fighting over.
It's weird how
Fried
people
chicken.
like will fight over shit. They fought over Tickle Me Elmo. They fought over fucking Popeye's chicken sandwich. What else have they fought over? in the
People are
past?
fighting
Toilet
at the
paper.
Waffle House.
Oh yeah,
Toilet
dude,
paper.
when people buying it in bulk and hand sanitizer. To think, you know, like the whole pandemic thing when it first started, it was like it seems like a fever dream almost because
I told someone,
it
I was
was a
like,
weird time.
I was like, why did you buy so many toilet paper? Well, it's because of this and that. And I'm like, we have wet wipes. We have bidets. Yeah, but it's not the... And I'm like,
You used a bidet before?
I love bidets. I have one in my apartment.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I've never used one.
It seems a little sus, you know, because you're just sitting there and you're just like, oh, like,
Yeah.
water hits your ass, but
It's
it's the cleanest thing. Like, you clean it out and then you wipe
You need,
it.
you need to
done.
wet it.
do you also moan after you wipe your ass
No.
while listening to Grateful Dead?
Some fucking jam band song. No.
No, just
No, that is kind of funny though. On a side note, we were talking about on the drunk cast when I had played Chad Kroger's "Hero," the Nickelback song.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I should have moaned. Like, that would have been fucking hilarious.
Oh, dude, that's an unpopular opinion. I fucking love Nickelback.
Nickelback's
I don't give a
great.
fuck what people say, bro.
Nickelback
and
is
Creed.
great.
I'll say it with my chest.
I don't know about Creed.
Dude, have
Not
you
anymore.
seen- they
Not
get
anymore.
So,
Like,
they get so much
Like
hate.
6-7 years ago, it was unpopular. Now it's
San
like,
Antonio had
much
Creed
Oh my
like 2 weekends ago, and it was the biggest thing. So many people love Creed.
Oh, dude, I love Creed. It
In
was my
San
first
Antonio,
concert,
it was
yeah.
the best weekend of their lives.
San
Yeah,
Antonio is
yeah.
a pretty good city for like rock and metal and stuff like
Emo,
that. They're
too.
very, very like
People love
accepting of
going
that.
there. Like Father Troy loves going there. Like that whole kind of like tree of bands. They love their
It's so
Hawthorne
fucking weird
Heights.
because you would think they would just be straight up Mexican music, but like there's a huge metal community out there. Very big rock scene. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hell yeah. That's where I'm from, dog. Ooh.
Hell yeah. Fuck San Antonio. I'm like, no, I'm playing. I got family out there. So there's this crazy girl that I know out there that lives out there. Rosie, I know you're watching. I miss you, baby. But
I guess I have an unpopular opinion.
Hurry up and say it, man. We've been fucking waiting for you to
he's
say
like,
it.
oh, he's been waiting for like 10 minutes to say it, but we all say something else.
Filler episode waiting for Dan.
Look, like, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get taxed for this, but the White Swan, I hate
You're gonna
it.
get taxed or attacked?
Attacked.
Oh, okay.
But the White Swan, I hate it.
Dude, that's very popular. Everybody hates that
I hate the
fucking
White Swan.
place.
I know what it is.
Oh, it's a venue over there in the east side. It's like very scummy, very
It's
run
in a
down.
horrible neighborhood. It's like, it's a really bad area.
Hey, bro, Mexicans live there, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, like,
But the food is delicious over
People
there.
No.
say, hey, that's a
Yeah, it is.
special
I mean, it is. I
neighborhood.
live
It's
over
just-
there.
It's just Mexicans that live there.
Just say
But no, like, yeah, the White Swan is like the lowest of the low where you start. Like,
yeah.
How do you feel
fucking
about the
10-year-olds play there.
Yeah, it's cool.
The end is cool to y'all?
Yeah, like,
What?
it's sketchy and stuff, but the area's sketchy, but
What about the sound? Do y'all like the sound? I hate the sound. I didn't understand what
You're
I was
talking about the
listening to at
venues?
the end.
The
yeah,
end?
The end, yeah.
The end is gone. Like,
Well, when it was.
it's called crowd control now or something like that.
oh, okay.
That's where we're supposed to play.
I just know that the end was like.
it was
a really
cool.
big
I liked
thing.
the end. It was really nice. It was cool. It was a good vibe.
Maybe I didn't understand it because I was just coming in from San Antonio. I'm like, what?
goddamn Houstoners.
Goddamn
Houstonians.
Houstonians.
He's stoned. Yeah. But no, the end. No, I mean the end was pretty cool. I mean, it was kind of all like about community and local. You know, like
Yeah,
you could bring your own shit if you wanted to. I mean, like you could BYOB and they don't say shit.
yeah.
But
Just lawless over there.
yeah, literally down the street from my apartment, you just like fuck it, smoke and fucking drink, and nobody's gonna tell you shit.
I did like one of my first few interviews there at the end.
And that little toilet, like little area that you were at.
Yeah, that's the green room. I think it was a
What did
pretty
you
cool
interview
place. Execution. My friend Mauricio's band, Mauricio and Connor Morgan.
I don't remember. Sorry if I don't remember. You guys.
Well, so I also interviewed Fleischwolf. Now they're a band called Means of Destruction.
They changed their name.
Yeah, but back then they were called Fleischwolf, and that was like a year ago.
Means
What
of
show was
destruction.
that?
It was like some hardcore show, and
I
like
was there with you. Like, what the fuck?
no, you weren't there with me.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it. No, but
Yeah.
you interviewed somebody when we went to a show there.
We went to a show at the end together.
Dude, we went to like two.
At the
Are
end?
you high as fuck right now?
Well, what? Yeah, but what?
We went to a More Perfect Fest. Remember you were there?
I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
I was not there.
There must have been another dude that looked like you.
I was not there. Dude. I wish I was there, but I wasn't.
What? Wait, who's playing music? What the
Okay,
fuck?
bro.
Somebody's watching something outside.
Is this a fight? Who's watching the
Yeah,
fight?
there's got to
Some
be like a
neighbors.
game or a fight.
You went to a show there at the end and you interviewed somebody in that room, but I don't think you were there with me.
I was not there with you. That
Not
night.
about that. We're gonna talk. Fuck the end. It's gone. You know, whatever. So yeah, White Swan. I think that's everyone's popular opinion. They fucking hate that place,
I don't like it.
especially Brett of fucking Win in May. Oh my gosh! Shout out to him. There's some shit going on there. Unpopular opinions. Let's see. I think Gabe.
Gabe, you have one?
I think Gabe. No, Gabe is. He's that member of the band that's just like,
He's a bad boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's the guy on the motorcycle.
the
He's,
guy
Yeah.
that gets all the pussy.
It just doesn't say anything, and it's
The Glock in the truck.
it's the mystique of Great Blue.
You Mystique.
I get it.
The X-Men character Mystique. That'd be badass though if you were Mystique, bro. Like you just change into a panda on stage while you're playing.
crack open the energy drink, bro.
Not yet.
Crack open a Bud Light.
That's for practice.
Nah, we're out here with Kroger Seltzer Water, 0 calories.
We're not sponsored.
Shout out
You're
to Kroger.
supposed to be like sponsor. You know what's? That's another thing. That's an unpopular opinion. Not everybody needs to have a sponsor. Like a lot of podcasters want to get sponsored. Now I'm starting to see bitches that want to get sponsored by the alcohol that they get fucked up on. And I'm sorry if I'm calling you a bitch, but it's true. Like, there's this one person that I follow, and I follow because she's hot, but she was out and about with her friends, and she had a video of this drink, and she had tagged the place and was like, oh, sponsor me. And I'm like, why do you need a sponsor, bro? Like, so you could just be still an alcoholic? Like, no, like, not everybody needs to get sponsored. Like,
it's like drink Four Locos.
Oh my god,
you'll never
Four
remember.
Locos are, well, it's not the same as it used to be. So
This is pretty healthy, so...
No, dude,
I like it though. It's pretty good. Like,
Dude,
you have like a hint of grapefruit.
I used to drink Four Loco like it was nobody's business,
Like
bro.
before the formula got changed.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
fuck.
this is like type 2012, 2011 kind of shit.
Same, man,
God.
same.
That's like when people were like dying and shit, but it was
The gold one.
Yeah, I was like, I was like 19 or 20 at the time, and it's like you could buy it for like $3, and you just get
Four Locos and 40s was just, I was drinking
40s,
those a
yeah,
lot.
Old English.
Yeah.
I had no business drinking that in like
oh,
freshman year in high school, bro, for no reason.
I didn't realize, like, I was drinking with my roommate slash friend slash guitarist. He was a big guy. He was like 6 foot, maybe a little bit taller, and like, I don't know, maybe 200 pounds. So like, he was drinking the 40s and the Four Locos and everything, and I was doing the same, but like, I'm nowhere near his size, and I didn't take that into account, like the size of your body, like, and the alcohol that you're consuming.
Well, yeah, that kind of count. But there's some people like, there are people like me that can get drunk off like one, and there are people like Daniel that could like keep going until like they hit the fucking floor, and it's like 50 in a row. So, but I think my tolerance has kind of gone up now because I drank a lot at that party, and I was still good till like 6 a.m. So
Nah, that
Were
could
you on
not be
some
me, bro.
cocaine or something?
no, I don't know what it is. I don't know, Daniel. What is it? What is it about me that like just keeps up?
You're
Do you
Hispanic.
wake up late?
Yeah, that, and then.
It's just your drive, bro.
Yeah, I think it's my drive.
drive,
And then,
dude.
like,
You're
after the
motivated.
party,
Just a raging alcoholic.
something. No, I'm a raging alcoholic and also Hispanic because, like, after everyone's gone, we started cleaning up.
I feel like a lot of that goes like hand in hand with just generational. Just like you.
And
just
it's funny
drink-
because my dad, my mom aren't like that. But
yeah.
I've seen people like that. My grandpa was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
'Cause
That man, you drink like Schlitz and all that and just be fucked up.
Yeah, before I had to stop drinking. Like I used to just drink till like I just couldn't anymore. Like Gabe, Grey Blue, and I have had some fucking interesting encounters. While very intoxicated. I'm not gonna get into the details, but I remember one. We were just wearing. I was wearing a Goku outfit, like from DBZ. I had like the blue shirt. I had the makeshift shirt, and then I think I had like a Under Armour of Vegeta's armor, and I gave it to Grey Blue to wear. And we just went, like, we already hammered. I think we went to the corner store to get drinks, and then like
We were drinking. We passed out, woke up, and decided to get more drinks. We just woke up and we're like, "Oh, there's empty. Let's go." And then we went.
And then because I think I don't remember any of this. This is just told by Grey Blue, and it was just something along the lines of I was good until I wasn't, and then I don't know what it is. Like people have gone like when I was back in like that time of my life where I was just drinking just to drink and just picking fights for no reason. Like it's just like I don't know. I guess you get what's called beer muscles or some shit like that. And then I've escaped through my buddies just telling the other people like no, like, he's just fucked up like by just getting jumped by multiple people for no reason. But yeah.
Ulysses, like, remember that birthday party like 2 years ago? Like whenever Gabe and I had an apartment.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Bless you. Like you brought me a bottle of like Hornitos, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was like, oh, nice, a whole bottle for me, you know. Like I put it in the freezer or whatever. I went to bed, and then I woke up and him and like our friend Nick, Grey Blue and our friend Nick were like up, like they were up, and I was like, damn, what's going on? And they're like, we're keeping the party going. Come on, we're taking shots. And I was like, guys, I have a doctor's appointment. Like, I have to go to the eye doctor. And they just looked at themselves and did, like, and then they just laughed at me, like, bro, what? Like, come and drink with us, man. Like, no, dude, I have to go to the fucking eye doctor. I can't. Like, maybe after. Like, I think I just took one shot and then I went or whatever. And I came back and, like, they finished the whole bottle you gave me. I was like, bro, what?
Drink Hornitos, sponsored by your local
Hornitos is pretty
Specs.
smooth, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, that shit could get you where you want to be after quite a few shots with people. As long as you drink with somebody who's not a bitch, you'll be alright. Like, it's just...
Are we any of us bitches?
Oh no, I could put it down.
Yeah, me too.
a
He
day.
can't. He ain't saying shit. He's fucked up now.
No, I know he gonna go. He gonna keep going.
No, Gabe can put it down.
What about you, Danny?
I know this one dude I used to live with, and
Yeah?
he gets drunk in like an hour, and he's gone, bro.
That was our friend Mike, who was at the party. It was his birthday too. Dude got drunk for like an hour and then threw up and left. I was like, wow.
You got puke and rally, bro.
I hate those types.
I could do the puke and rally. I'm good with the puke and rally, but it's very... It's not very often. Last
They're like, I
party we
left
went
the
to-
party, and then they get fucked up in an hour and throw up.
That was me. The last party we had in March, our friend Kiko threw a party and I got crossfaded, and that was bad. That was bad.
That was a mistake, though, right?
There was a mistake.
Yeah.
I was only there for like 2 hours, and then I was already crossfaded, and then somebody slapped me. I'm not gonna say who.
Naturally.
Somebody knows who. They know who they are, and yeah, and some random girl put her leg on my neck, and I have pictures. I have actual proof of this, and yeah, it was just I was like, I'm not getting crossfitted again. So next party, I was like, I'm just gonna drink.
Bro, I saw you get hit on at the last party.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not gonna talk about
Don't be
that.
blowing this
I'm
man's
kind of
spot
mad
up,
about
bro.
that, man. I'm kind of mad about that. I'm kind of mad about that. So, fuck that bitch. We don't call bitches on this show, but sometimes a bitch is a bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I see that there's like, you know, the house parties like scene is still out there. You know, it's pretty cool. I mean,
I mean, yeah, it's
I
cool.
think we spoke about it a little bit before, and like, I haven't gone to one forever, and I went like a few weeks ago, and it was.
I think
was chill.
it's very rare. Very
Yeah.
rare. Now. Everyone's kind of like, they don't do it anymore. I think it's like the older generation, like we, like in our 30s, where we're just like, what the fuck are we doing? Let's have a house party. Fuck it.
Let's go to fucking Applebee's, bro.
Like this next house party that I'm going to have for Halloween, you're totally going to tell my age with the music, because it's going to be like, what the fuck? Who put this together? But we're going to have jungle juice at this party. We're going to have pizza at this party. We're going to have possibly more women at this party.
Wait, so how old are you?
31. I just turned 31.
Okay, so yeah, we're about the same age. So I firmly believe, or at least in my opinion, I think the early 2000s has like the best music.
Yeah, there's a
from
lot.
2000 to like 2010 or 9. It's
Like an 80s baby is going to say that the 90s were the peak.
True.
There's a lot of 80s stuff
kinda
that I like
biased.
too. So I mean,
It's very biased, but I'll stand by it all down. So
I like all of it. Like that playlist that I have is like a mix of a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, like stuff in the early 2000s.
I will say the early 2000s is when it's like, dang, that was the last of the good
I remember
ones.
my older cousins. They would listen to that, and they would be like at these parties and stuff like that. Because I would remember, and they would play it, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool music." Then to have at these parties, like Ludacris and
Lil
Sean
Jon.
Paul and Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg. So I was like, you know, that always stuck with me in my brain. So whenever I put like a party playlist, I'm like, you kind of have to include that. And not a lot of people will. What's it called? Will welcome it, but some people will be like, hell yeah, like he knows his shit.
and you got to throw Suavemente in there.
Yeah, you gotta give him a
throw
little, like a
Suavemente.
little, you know.
You know what? Something I learned recently was, so, you know, talking about the early 2000s, like when My Chemical Romance and all them were like super popular, like, or just emo rock or whatever you want to call it. And it's like, apparently, I was talking to some of my coworkers. They're like older Hispanic, older Mexicans that apparently being emo at the time was like looked down upon. Did you guys ever hear about that? Yeah. It was like something like, it was like a serious thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh my god, my son is emo, or my daughter's emo, and this
Yeah,
and
dude,
that.
I experienced that myself. My cousins would make fun of me, and they'd be like, what's wrong? Like, are you going to kill yourself? And I'm like, no, I just like My Chemical Romance and Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy and Hawthorne Heights, you know? And then they would tease me and play, like, I'm an emo kid song. If you know, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But my parents were like that. They're like, "What's wrong? Why are you so depressed? You listen to that emo music." And I'm like, "You mean emo?" And it's like, you don't understand. Now I'm a 30-year-old man and nobody understands.
It's not a phase.
It's not.
Dude, they made it into like a topic in La Rosa de Guadalupe.
Really?
Yes, there's a whole episode on it. You gotta check it out.
Fuck?
It's funny as fuck.
But there's a lot of Latino emo bands that were in the early 2000s, like Panda and all them. Like, they were badass. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Sometimes, like, I ask my mom for help, like, with my outfits, because I'm like, okay, like they look good like this. And one time I think I had like all black on, and she's like, "Oh, like, ¿por qué te pones like all black? You know, like pareces, you know, like emo."
Demonio.
And I'm like, "Oh,
this was last week, y'all."
And I was like, "But I am." And she's like, she looked at me like you're kidding, right? And I was like, "No, for real, I am." She's like, you know, like.
It's the same thing with people in the 80s with New Wave. New Wave was like a gothic kind of like phase where people would dress like The Cure and stuff like that, and they would be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" So like 20 years later, when your kids are dressing like that, you're asking them, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Like it's a trend that happens every few years, you know. Like now, I think kids are dressing like that, and I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
Let's bring back glam rock.
Wow, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Well, you know what? Kind of like Chapo Ronin and some of these other people are kind of like that in a way. Like, they're dressing very glammy. I mean, the music's not essentially rock, but it's like they're doing something in that sort of it, like Kiss would do, or fucking the New York Dolls or something like that, you know? So, kind of everything kind of comes back into rotation after a while, but was your phone dying too?
Memory full.
God dang, dude, like, everything dies on you. What the hell?
Storage is for that's the battery.
Do you want to use it?
If you want.
Yeah, that's cool.
What else? So yeah, so was really last week, Daniel? You asked your mom like, "How do I look?" Help me with my outfit, please.
Dude, I remember my mom used to dress me till like I was like in 7th grade. Yeah, like, no shame in the game, bro. You know, the funny thing is I started dressing like I guess like a punk rocker or whatever you want to call it. Was over a girl in 6th grade. I'll never forget, because like she looked like Avril Lavigne.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
And you know, at the time, like,
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, she is gorgeous. So, but she would wear like band tees, the studded bracelets, the studded belts, and Converse and all that. And I used to dress like very, you know, I guess, you know, lame or whatever you want to call it, like very, I guess, wholesome. And then I told my sister to take me to Hot Topic, and then she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "I just want to, you know, try new stuff." And then I started wearing, you know, Converse and all, trying to get her attention. And eventually it did, but like we weren't like friends or anything like that. But like, you know, it was just a, you know. And then sure enough, I was like, "Wow, I actually like this style. This is pretty cool." And then
Same with me. I kind of knew about the music already. Like around the early 2000s, my uncle would show me stuff, and then I obviously had the gateway drug, which is Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You know, all that music on
fuck
there.
yeah.
It helped me out, like listen to punk rock. And there was this girl named Cindy that I kind of grew up with, and she would come around every so often because I used to go to church with her and all that. And she started dressing with like the Vans or Converse and like band tees, and I was just like, "Oh, I got to do like that too to get her attention." So I did that, and then same thing to me. I was like, "Oh, I like this," and now I'm stuck. This is the only way I know how to dress now. Like, you know. It's just like, we do it for women, but it's like after all, we're just like, I like this. It feels comfortable.
I do have a story of like how I got into like alternative music, I guess. Because back then when I was a kid, whenever I had obsessions, I would like look into it like on the internet. And there was a point when I was obsessed with like aliens, you know, in space and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So like, do you remember MP3 Rocket or like LimeWire?
Yeah.
So I was using one of those things, and I just had an Aliens, and I found a song Aliens Exist by Blink-182, mm-hmm. And that's how I found out about Blink-182. I was like, who is Blink-182? What the hell?
The most like weird song that Tom ever wrote.
It's a pretty cool song.
That's a good song. I'm not knocking it. I love Aliens Exist, but
did you guys destroy the family computer with LimeWire?
Yeah, pretty sure.
LimeWire and porn.
I did a drum cover of Aliens Exist.
Oh, really?
It's a badass song.
Does warm up to it.
Dumpweed.
Dumpweed is really good.
Their whole
It's
like
crazy because
Cheshire Cat and all
Grey
that
Blue
shit.
has a mic that he's never passed, and he's not even.
Pass the mic. He's like, I have to say something profound.
You said Cheshire Cat?
Yeah.
That's a really good album.
That one, Dude Ranch,
Carousel.
Eminem, something like that. Like their early shit's really good. I like their early shit.
Like Buddha?
Yeah, I have that one. Enema of the State. I remember like Blink like in the early like late. I mean, in the early like the late '90s, like all the small things and all this and that. That's like when I got into. So like,
That's when they were like. That's when TRL was the shit.
yeah, I remember.
Because I used to watch all the time because my sisters would watch it right there. So I would just sit down in the living room after school and watch it. You know, top 10 videos. That's kind of what was cool at the time. And then you know how they used to make fun.
Fucking Fuel, Hemorrhage, and all that. There's a band that was one of the songs that we played at a show, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, with
Camino, right?
Camino Nova. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how me and Daniel met because there's this band that lived like on the other side of this neighborhood, and we were playing, and Daniel was like, he wanted to see what that sound was, and it was us, not band. But we played a show, and we played "Hemorrhage" by Fuel, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like we're playing fucking Fuel, but. Yeah, I mean, all that music was good. Like, it's kind of like coming back around a little bit here and there. So people kind of, I mean, younger kids are rediscovering shit that came out when they were born.
Yeah,
So.
I think because like a lot of older bands are kind of reuniting, or you know, like coming back. Like when My Chemical Romance came back, like it was like super anticipated. I was definitely excited to, you know. I think they put out maybe one song. I don't know, but I just wanted to hear their old stuff playing. You know, when Blink 182 played Lollapalooza, it was like a huge deal. I think it was like last year or something.
Yeah.
You know, Creed came back. It's a massive deal. It's just a resurgence of older bands.
Oasis, right?
Yeah, Oasis is coming
but
back.
I never really got into Oasis.
Like
I don't
Richard,
really-
like Richard said, like stuff that comes out, like, you know, like there's this whole resurgence of like the '80s music was like cool a couple of years ago. Like all these '80s bands are coming out, and people got into it. And now it's like everyone's getting into like the 2000s stuff. Like, so it's like everything just kind of comes around. Like everyone's
or movies or something like
Yeah.
when the Motley Crue movie came out, everyone, you know.
yeah, which is kind of weird. Like it like seemed like grown women are like, Motley Crue is my spirit animal now, and I'm like, okay, like.
Have you heard of the him play recently? What's his name? Vince.
Oh,
Vince Neil.
oh
Yeah.
my
Vince
god,
McMahon?
that sounds bad. He's like, kickstart my heart. Yeah. It sounds like it's like Boomhauer from like King of the Hill, but like
Dang,
more
is that
high.
what came out in the interview?
I don't know.
I heard
Dude,
something.
like
some bad
it's
stuff
kind of
from it.
like, hey man, like you kind of have to stop, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you? Like Judas Priest is a different animal. Like they came out in like the 70s, but like they can still hit that shit.
Rob
like-
Halford.
Oh my gosh, he has that register that's like fucking amazing. Iron Maiden,
can
I saw
do it.
Iron Maiden
I can
live.
do it.
Fucking amazing.
Don't make me do it.
We'll one of these days we'll make you do it.
Yeah, we'll go to like a karaoke and I'll blow the fucking brains out of y'all.
Why you blow up karaoke?
I love karaoke, bro.
It's fun.
Judas
Even if you
Priest is
fuck
like
up,
my-
it's still fun. It's a good time.
And doing it sober too, like it's nerve wracking at first, but
I don't
like,
believe you. Let's go right
you
now.
get used to it.
Where's the karaoke bar? Let's go right
Dude,
now.
I used to go to Baker's all the time, but
Oh, really?
they shut that place down a couple months back.
I think the only place that I know of is Spotlight in Midtown. There's one in Midtown. There's one off Westheimer. But I have a karaoke machine at home, so I can just fucking do that shit if I want.
Hey, man. I had this idea of a karaoke night, but you sing the lyrics wrong.
Just make up your own lyrics.
Purposely, yeah.
Oh, that'd be pretty fun.
That's a good one. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I've always thought of it's a karaoke night essentially, but the thing is, instead of singing the lyrics, you're performing the song. Like you're not singing with a mic. You're performing the song as that musician.
I want someone to do that for WAP with Cardi B. I want to see someone mime.
You
wet ass
could.
pussy.
I mean, you could essentially if you got the right people there. Like someone will do WAP.
Dude, there was this show that I used to watch on Netflix, and the characters, they got together with, like, they're all like musicians and just hang out and just watch movies. So they create a theme song that movies that don't necessarily have movies songs. I thought it was a really cool idea.
That is pretty cool.
That'd be really fun to do. I think they made one for like Die Hard or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, that's an interesting concept.
That would have to be like very. I feel like Bon Jovi would be somebody who would do like a Die Hard like theme song or something like that, something cheesy like that, or no, not early Metallica, but yeah, that'd be a pretty cool idea. Like kind of like pick bands to be like didn't do kind of in the style like something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dan, are you high? Hi, my boy.
No comment.
No, Phil Collins. What?
No comment.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins didn't have to go that hard.
He didn't have to go that fucking
on
hard.
the soundtrack of Tarzan.
That is another great lead singer / drummer. That dude
Fuck,
is
that's a good
fucking
song.
Genesis. Fucking amazing.
Son of man.
I can appreciate Phil Collins. It sucks that he can't play anymore.
Sucks that he died, man. Just kidding.
Damn, and then tomorrow he's dead. I'm like, you motherfucker. No, he's got like I don't know if it's Parkinson's or some kind of disease, but he can't play anymore, and he can't really even sing. Like, it sucks. But Phil Collins is one of the, I think, underrated people that don't get that recognition. So,
Is it just me, or like did y'all ever have that obsession over that one song? What's that song of his that's really popular? I can feel
Coming in the
it.
air, yeah.
Like
In the Air Tonight?
Because the first time that I bought that song, I was like, dude, this song is fucking awesome. I kept replaying it over and over again.
what is it that drew you to the song?
I guess like the way when the drums come in, it's like a whole different song. I'm like, whoa, this shit sounds fucking awesome.
Sounds very trappy, huh?
Yeah, not trappy, but like
You could imagine it could be.
it could be, yeah. But no, it just sounded very. I don't know. It's just because it's very cool because he's the drummer himself, you know, and he's singing the song.
Well, that goes into like recording. Like he knew how to really mix his drums well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a certain way of mixing them that I never heard in any other song before. He makes them very like powerful, very boomy. Yeah, I don't know. I just kept hearing that over and over again. I was like, dude, this sounds fucking awesome. Like, because I saw videos of him playing it, also him performing it, him with the headset, singing and playing drums at the same time. I'm like, damn, was that a gunshot? Like, is it fireworks or?
I'm trying to be like Phil
It's like
Collins,
that one fart, like
the dude from Crack Cloud, and I don't know his name, but he is in Hell the Sun, drummer singer.
Oh, Donovan Valero.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
There you go. That's my goal.
And dude, all these legends are just getting older, you know.
and we're all.
And we're just getting younger.
Well, Reese, since as a drummer, because I see this online all the time, and he gets a lot of shit for it. Like, what do you think about Lars Ulrich? He always gets shit for being a bad drummer, but he was, you know, he's been in Metallica, you know, for, you know, God knows how long.
45, 50, almost 40 something years.
Yeah, he's just a good drummer. He he is. I don't know anything.
Have you seen Some Kind of Monster, like the documentary?
I remember bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, what is his backlash? What are people saying?
I don't know. They
my backlash is that like he's the reason why like there was like a big backlash against like free online music because he was like one of the big proponents against it. Yeah, like Napster. When he found out about Napster, he went crazy. He was like, "What?"
But because of the Napster thing, you were like, he sucks as a drummer.
Metallica
Is that why? That was connected it? Like,
Well, like he's a good drummer, but he just sucks. He
sucks as a person.
because of that, I guess. I see where he was coming from, but
I think the reason why he gets a lot of backlash as a drummer is because he's a very basic drummer, and he doesn't do like anything flashy, like Vinnie Paul would do, or anybody like in that scene would do. He's just like very basic, I think.
Yeah, no, I was just
And he
curious.
keeps the beat, so I mean,
Because I don't play drums, so I can't really have an opinion. Because I wouldn't know what's a good drummer as opposed to.
I think like when you're first starting out, if you don't hear a drummer doing anything that stands out, you're like, he sucks. But I think once you like get more sophisticated and more experienced, it's not about what he plays. It's just like, does it suit the band? Is he actually complimenting the band? And he does for the Metallica. Like he's holding it down for 3 guitars, and all the guitarists are like doing some really heavy shit. So I think it works. I mean, a lot of it is just like, one on the bass, two on the snare. But I mean, that is what that music is anyway. It's just it's just
same thing with like Ringo Starr. People thought the same thing, but like he complimented.
he sucks, dude. He sucks.
He complimented the band, and he's a very intricate drummer. If you really like dive deep into like how he played and how he did some of these songs, it's just like, what the fuck, you know? Someone who like they thought he was just a basic ass dude. And
was that one song? It's like the very psychedelic one. I think it's from Revolver.
I know which one you're talking about.
The one that plays like guitar backwards.
That is.
Damn, what's it called?
I'm trying to remember myself, but I can't remember.
It's like flow down, relax your mind, something.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow never knows. Yeah,
there you go.
So like, if you think Ringo Starr sucks, hear that song, because he plays really good drums in that song.
No, listen to fucking
Ticket to Ride.
that too. But if you listen to the Abbey Road album towards the end of it, where he does like the golden. I was gonna
Golden
say
Slumbers, man.
I was gonna say Golden Showers. What the fuck?
Whose man's
the
this?
Golden
That's one of my
Slumbers
karaoke
melody.
songs, dude. I
The
love
Golden
that.
Slumbers melody, like he plays very good drums, and he has like a little drum solo in like one of the songs, and it's like Ringo Starr's a really good drummer.
Have you seen that movie? It's called Yesterday.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Yeah.
good one.
It's pretty
A
good.
little
wait,
bits
no, I
and pieces of it, but
It's good,
I don't
man.
know. I don't know. Like I saw a little bit, but I couldn't
Yeah,
want to keep watching it for some reason.
that's pretty cool.
Some
I feel
guy's just like, I discovered I remember the Beatles. You don't remember the Beatles? You know, and he's like, now he's plagiarizing their music. You know,
that was pretty good imitation. No, dude, the best imitations from Walk Hard, bro. I love.
Jack Black.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jack
with Jack
Black
Black
and all
and like
them?
Paul Rudd. Great record. Great. Yeah.
Well, Paul Rudd is actually. This is kind of weird. He's actually a first generation American because his family comes from Britain.
Oh, yeah?
So like he has like that. I guess
British blood.
Yeah, so he knows how like they speak and all that. Like he used to say like his parents would still have like tea and crumpets and stuff like that, and they live in like Kansas City. And I'm like, what kind of Brit moves to Kansas fucking city, bro? So,
Can you ask Gabe like some bass questions?
Gabe, what's your favorite kind of bass?
Dude, no.
Do you like thicker strings?
I've only been playing for like 2 years.
Are you or do you like to have that thing slouched like Robert Trujillo, or do you like to have it up
In the middle.
in the middle? Do you like to gyrate when you play bass?
Yes.
Do you like to feel like the? Not mine. I'm not gonna get into that.
You like to fuck your bass.
Yes.
Sometimes, man. Sometimes you get like good, pretty,
I have on stage. It would look like I'm pumping it.
and then the girls are like, "I need to fuck him.
No.
He's fucking that bass pretty well.
Absolutely.
He's slapping that bitch really well. I mean, that bass."
You know, it's funny. Gabe started playing the bass because when I was in my last band, I was playing the bass, and then the guitarist left, and then so I was like, I can play the guitar. So then I kind of filled that role, and then so I already had my bass, and like that was my first time ever playing bass, and it was actually really fun to play. And then that's how I asked Great Blue. I was like, hey man, I got a spot open to bass. If you want to come through, and then that's just when it started.
I want some of our stuff to be more like bass driven, because we had a little. Oh, I noticed like a little glimmer of how it can sound. Last practice, it was in what song were we playing?
Masquerade.
It was Masquerade, and it was that intermission part.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, this is like good. I need to hear more of this type of stuff.
More cowbell.
Pretty Gabe. Give him more bass and ace.
Will do.
Great.
Received. Message received.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna turn on my volume.
Now
Just turn up louder. Like just a little bit.
You done woke up the beast.
About to play this shit.
Get ready to
Badass.
some single note your ass.
Scott Pilgrim, this motherfucker.
Then he had to dumb it down, right? He was too good.
Yeah, Michael Cera's actually really good at bass. That's what I heard.
And he had to dumb it down for the movie
Oh, I didn't
because
know that.
everybody else was learning.
Oh shit. That's a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
That got me into where I'm at now. Anywho, I think we've done. I think we've gone over unpopular opinions, and I think we kind of done. We'll do a little more. What are you listening to? So pretty much self-explanatory. So it's like, what are you listening to lately? So what's some new stuff that y'all been listening to? And Gabe, since you haven't really said anything, I want you to go first.
I don't like it.
Please come in front of the class and say what you have brought.
No, I've just been listening to a lot of Evans Blue. I'm still listening to Avenged like always. I've been listening to a lot of Japanese metal stuff. Bandmade, Hanabe, I think is how you pronounce it, and Trident. That's kind of what I've been kind of all over the place, really. I've actually gotten a little bit into Daft Punk now too. Okay. I've been listening to Instant Crush like on repeat so much.
Okay.
Pretty good song. Oh yeah.
Excuse me. I've really been into Måneskin for the last year or so. I really like their music. It's just, it's very upbeat. Very, if you're trying to just like really like sing in the car, full fucking blast. Even though I don't know what they're saying because most of it's in Italian. But that and last year I started getting into Falling in Reverse. I was actually at a show. We went to see them with Avenged Sevenfold, and I was with Grey Blue, and I was like, man, like this shit goes hard. And I really,
he's a really good songwriter.
Really enjoy it. I don't really listen to rap like that. Like I have a little bit here and there, but I like the blend. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And it's just like and then when he hits the breakdown, it's just like I'm banging my head hard as fuck. Yeah, that's what I've been really on repeat the last couple months or so.
What about you, Daniel?
Lately I've been checking out bands like, well, I'm not sure if they're a band, but this artist called Novulent. There's another one called Flying Fish. They're kind of like lo-fi goth music, kind of like that.
Okay.
Very like, it's kind of hard to describe, but just like lo-fi goth music, I guess is a way to describe it. I've also been checking out the Beatles recently, like their post Beatles projects, their solo projects.
Okay.
Like George Harrison, Mighty Sweet Lord. A lot of local bands, like old local bands, like not old, but like from like 2015, like Moth Wings. There's one called Paper Wolf.
Paper Wolf.
Paper Wolf, yeah. I've been listening to Smashing Pumpkins, Hole. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Richard.
Yeah, the new Voids album came out last week, so I've been paying my respects to that. Mm-hmm. Listening to it pretty much anytime I have Spotify on. I'll throw that on, and then that kind of makes me go down into like Julian Casablancas solo stuff, and so there's that. And then if I'm trying to get into drumming, I like listening to Minus the Bear. I like listening to This Town Needs Guns, Toe, Light.
That was really good.
There's this band, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of them, but they have like one of my most favorite albums ever, which is just, it's self-titled, it's Girlfriends.
Okay.
And that there's so much melody in it, and it's just so fun to listen to. So I like to drum along to that. And then yeah, I guess that's it for now. Yeah.
I forgot to mention Julie. It's also another like lo-fi goth band. Surfer Blood, Alice in Chains, Linkin Park.
Got ants, my god.
Guided by Voices, Surf Curse.
Oh my god, you got a bunch of ants on you, man.
Oh fuck. Damn, Luigi's got. He stepped in an ant pile.
Oh shit.
I think they're in your shoe, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Does this ever happen on the podcast?
Not yet. Now it has. Wait, I don't have ants, right?
There's ants on the bed.
Oh, there's ants on me too. What the fuck?
This sounds like a Rick and Morty sketch.
Fuck it, Rick and Morty.
We're like getting interviewed while getting eaten by ants.
Yeah, you're so
Circa Survive, Maps and Atlases, Radiohead,
Green Day,
The Blood Brothers,
Wolf Mother,
At the Drive-In,
Sean,
the Drop 19s,
Avlov,
Lady Gaga,
Beach Fossils,
Ulysses,
The Breeders,
Delta Sleep,
Built to Spill,
Transplants,
Lil Uzi Vert,
Breathe Carolina,
Stone Temple Pilots,
Death Grips,
Tyler the Creator,
Melancolin,
Basement,
MyChem,
Post Malone,
Postal Service,
local band Jonah the Runner,
Black Moth Super Rainbow,
Soda Stereo,
The Academy Is,
The Replacements,
Crack Cloud,
Pixies,
Cocktail Twins,
Crimson Arrow,
Venetian Snares,
local band The Rose Among
Needles,
Us,
Germs,
Van Halen,
Icy Stars,
Queen,
Nirvana,
Led Zeppelin,
Taking Back Sunday,
David Bowie,
Citizen,
David
Alex
Matthews,
Bandit,
Damn, we're just
MF
naming off
Doom,
bands now.
Mirage, Amore,
Toaster Strudel.
Dance Gavin Dance,
Badfinger,
Totoro,
Rage Against the Machine,
Ginger Root.
Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Third Eye Blind,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Lenny,
Lenny Kravitz,
Love Hate Hero,
Radiohead,
Tegan and Sarah,
AWOL Nation,
Chiodos,
Honey
Yuck,
Nut Cheerios.
Healy,
The Strokes,
Crumb,
System of a Down,
Beck,
Follow Troy,
Neck Deep,
Number 12 Looks Like You,
Boy Pablo,
Taking Back Sunday,
Black Keys,
Throat Game.
Mac DeMarco,
Sound of Animals Fighting,
The Neighborhood,
From First to Last,
Grimes,
Trico,
Sick Puppies,
Strawberry Girls,
Fantagram,
Backdoor.
Shine Down.
Shine down.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what we've been listening to.
Yeah, you asked and we answered.
Look here, you little shit. I'm playing.
Silver Sun Pickups, también.
Oh, Silver Some Pickups, pretty good. I saw it live.
Nice.
They
For
opened
me,
up
it's kind of been like all
Greta Van Fleet.
around different stuff.
Shit, my light just died.
Origami Angel, Elton John, some Metallica here and there, Blink 182, Vampire Weekend. I've said this before on the podcast, and I'll say it again, and I'll stand on this hill. Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. It's a really good song. Not gonna lie.
Grateful Dead.
Used to be a
Yeah, it's a lot
barista,
of
man.
yeah. Fucking Jerry Garcia doing what's it called? Eleanor Rigby. That's a really good one. It's just different stuff. I haven't really kind of like fully focused on one artist. There's been some local stuff. I'm making this playlist of what called H-Town Homies. So like people that I've had on the podcast. So like the Kiddos, my friend Janex, who else? Camera
I think after that party, after I met people from the scene and stuff like that, I did check out the Terrible Texan.
Shout out to Paul. Shout out to fucking Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. That shit was I fucked with that one for sure.
It's a cool dude. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's what I've been listening to. Yeah, let's cut this short because there's fucking ants.
I'm gonna go see Korn in a few weeks with Terrible Texan, Korn, Gojira, Spirit Box
at Cynthia Woods.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. Sorry, we got ants on us.
Yeah, let's cut this short so we can get rid of those. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on the podcast. It's pretty fucking cool that I had you guys on.
Fuck these ants.
Yeah, fuck these ants, man. Fuck these ants.
Bro, ants fucking suck.
Aunts, uncles, cousins, fuck them all. I'm playing now. But yeah, excited for you guys. Excited, happy for Daniel. He's finally got his project going, and he's got great members.
Thank you.
That are
Appreciate
gonna work
you.
with him and make this dream
We're gonna write a song about how much we hate ants.
true. Please do. But yeah, if you guys want to promote what you need to promote, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
We got that single out. I mean,
Yeah, Rebirth, Spotify. It's on
it's
YouTube.
yeah, it's out there. It's on YouTube. If you want to know what they're saying in the song,
The lyric video.
yeah. Check out our Instagram. We have that hotel photo shoot, and
Just,
more
yeah.
coming.
Just give us some time, man. We'll get some new content out for everybody.
Yeah. 2025 is the year of the Sentilion.
Follow Street Couch Entertainment, streetcouchentertainment.com. Everything's on there.
Nobody asked you to say that shit. I'm like,
Well, I don't
yeah,
care.
no, yeah, follow Street Couch. Dude, I'm gonna tell you, I'm actually proud of you. What you're doing with Street Couch, dude.
Thanks, man.
It's cool that you have a balance now of like these two things of like music and podcast.
I'm trying, bro. It's hard.
So, and you're doing really well. Like I said, I'm proud of you for doing that.
Thanks.
So, but yeah, So this is Inside the Northside Podcast. This is Sentilion. Fuck these ants. We're gonna try to get this shit off. But yeah, go ahead and follow the socials. And keep an eye on them for what they do in 2025 and all the music that they're going to be dropping. So,
Appreciate it.
as I always say, God bless, peace, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.